Feels like love, Cupid made a shot.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go and hit that subscribe. We're gonna glove up, but today a very exciting video. I am so excited to try airbrushing. So Saviland was so kind to send me their airbrush kit, which we're going to have a play with today. They also went ahead and sent me their airbrush gel nail polish. We're gonna have a play with this as well today, but we're actually not going to be mixing the two together. I want to have a quick conversation about gel in an air gun and why it's not actually safe to use gel in an air gun. Now, this is fully my opinion. Please do your research. If you choose to do it, you're grown. That's your business. But I highly recommend you not using gel with an airbrush gun. It is not safe. I want to have a quick conversation and tell you why I think it's not safe and why, if you actually do your research, there's quite a bit of free information out there in the world that will tell you why gel is not safe to put in an air gun. So I'm going to go over with you quickly and tell you why gel is not safe to go in an air gun. Again, this is me and my opinion and a little bit of the research I did prior to doing this video. I think it's really cool, and I think I want to try to do different nail art with this because it's really highly pigmented from what I was looking at, so I really think there's a lot of fun stuff you could do, but I personally would not use this in an airbrush gun. So I am going to, and what I would use in an airbrush gun. So let's talk about a little bit about those two things first, and then we'll jump into playing with these things. So firstly, I want to kind of talk about, I just want to make sure I get my information right here. Okay, yeah, so I firstly want to talk about gel polish and why I feel you should not put gel polish, or why it's not safe to put gel polish in an airbrush gun. What an airbrush gun basically is air pushing the product out. So it's going to push it out, spray it, really is what it is. It's spraying it out on your nail or out on whatever you're spraying it on, right? In our case, we'll be doing nails. So what happens is when you spray or you put gel has acrylates in it. And when I was doing this research, I looked at the ingredients on these Saviland paints. And the first ingredient is acrylates. So acrylates is the first ingredient. Isopropyl titanium fluorates. That I believe is the pigment. That is like the different pigment and colors that's in a lot of makeup and stuff. I don't believe that is harmful for your skin or anything like that. But acrylate itself is an irritant. And acrylates are in all gel polish. All gel polish has different acrylates. And what that is basically chemicals that have to come together. And when they're under a lamp, UV light, LED light, they cure and form polymers, if I am correct. So I want to make sure that I'm not giving you false information. I did my research on this. Exactly. So they create polymers. So polymers is what makes the gel polish hard, but it's acrylates that have to form together. And when they form together, it creates a polymer. But on their own, until it comes into the polymer stage, it is very dangerous, and it can be very dangerous to inhale it, get it on your skin. It's a really big irritant, and that's why there's a lot of gel polish allergies out there, especially with a lot of beginners and enthusiasts and even techs. When you're first starting, you just don't know, and you're getting it all over your skin, and you're not wiping it up before you're curing it. All these things, and then people develop allergies. So why I feel it's not safe to put it in an airbrush gun that is going to spray it out into your environment. Yes, I think being in a well-ventilated area is important. Wearing a mask when we play with this stuff is important. Gloves are important. But the fact of it is you're spraying it and it's going to go in the air. So you're going to have these tiny particles until it lands on something, basically. So you have your nail. Let's just grab a nail here. You have your nail, right? Now, yes, you're spraying the gun, and what lands on the nail is fine. It's safe, right? As long as you don't get it on your skin, you're covering your skin. That's fine and safe. But what doesn't land on this nail is floating in the air. And if that gets into your lungs and into your body, it's uncured gel. There's no way for it to be cured inside of you. That is extremely, extremely dangerous. And I do not recommend putting gel in an airbrush gun because that is what's happening. Even though some companies say that it is perfectly fine, they dilute it, you don't have to do the acetone. I really always thought, to be honest, I'm not going to lie to you, until I did my research, I thought that it was the acetone mixed with gel polish that made it dangerous to put it in an airbrush gun. So when first doing this collab, I was so excited, which I'm still so excited, to try Saviland's airbrush gun and their gels, because I'm like, oh, they already diluted it, so it's safe. I can put that in an airbrush and I could just spray away and practice and play and figure it out, right? Well, yes and no. It's not safe. Oh my God, never put acetone and mix that with gel polish and put that in an airbrush gun. Still not safe. But the acrylates in gel polish, period, are not safe for you. So I think that's the biggest misconception that we have to know. Some brands do come out with the stuff and say, oh yeah, it's fine, you could use it. And I think if you take your precautions, it will definitely lower your risk. Mask up, glove up, well-ventilated area, it will lower the risk, but it's not taking all the risk away. The gel can still get airborne, which it will be airborne because you're spraying it. And that can float in the air. And there is no, how do you say it? There's no like studies to say how long gel polish stays in the air. We don't know that, right? So it could be 10, it could be 15 minutes. It could be 2 days. Who knows how long it could take for that to stay in the air. I know when I was doing some research of other things that when you use airbrush guns and other different products, not gel, but that can stay in the air literally up for 12 hours. Different particles could be airborne. So there is no real studies on how long gel will stay in the air. But the fact of it is, it's in the air. And if nobody knows, then you're going to take your mask off eventually. You're going to be in your area. You're going to breathe in. And the risk of this getting inside of you and you putting it in your lungs is extremely, extremely dangerous. So I highly recommend not using gel in an airbrush gun. But I want to see what we can do with these gel paints. I still think that you could actually really get the aura effect. When I was kind of playing with it a little bit, it seems very like inky in a sense. So I'm like, ooh, could that be really good for marbling? Because this gel is very highly pigmented because they diluted it in a way to, yeah, richly pigmented. So high gloss. Okay, so it says natural ingredients. Well, maybe you have something in there. But I got to keep it real. And that's the biggest thing on my channel. I'm not going to do something and put myself at risk either because a brand sends me products. And again, Saviland did send me these products. And I did reach out to Saviland and ask them about what is in them and all this and that. And they did get back to me and said they haven't had any issues, meaning they've had other nail technicians or, how do you call it, enthusiasts use their products and say they have no issues. And you might not have an issue right now. You might not have an issue 6 months from now, but it can be a prolonged issue from exposure to gel polish. And that's what this still is. If it needs to be cured, then it has acrylates in it. And that's what's really bad for you. So anything with acrylates, uncured, can be, there's a lot of risk. So let's just go, I could tell you right now, I'd put it here, my notes, the risk. So acrylates can cause advanced skin, eye, and throat irritation. So imagine inhaling that. Uncured acrylates, which that's what it is. If it's spraying around, it's not going to get cured yet, can cause a sensitivity, which can lead to allergic reactions. Acrylates can enter the body through the skin and cause irritation. So imagine inhaling that. You know how sensitive our lungs are? It's one of the most sensitive organs in us. So it can't take all that. We don't want to put that in there, God forbid, and who knows what that would cause down the road. We're not going to get into it like that, but it's not healthy for you. So it can cause a lot of irritations. So I wouldn't recommend putting it in your mouth, breathing it in your throat, your nose. All that is just not good. It's not good if you get it on your skin, let alone inside your body, right? But I do want to play with this and see how it could and what we could do with it. So maybe you already own it. And I think it's still kind of cool what they did, like diluting it, but high pigmented. So that's really cool. So I'm going to see if we can do the aura nails. Maybe we can do some marbling with these. That could be really fun. Now, say you have an airbrush and you want the airbrush effect. And how do you do that? And how do you do the stencils and all these fun things? There is something you can put in an airbrush that is perfectly safe. I still recommend always masking up. But if it gets on your skin, it gets there, it's not going to hurt you. Again, don't eat it. Don't initially, or what's the word I'm looking for? Don't like try to inhale it or nothing like that, but way less risk of anything actually happening to you if it does get on your skin or if you're in an area that you have been using an airbrush gun. So what that is, to actually put in an airbrush gun, I went and I purchased airbrush paint. So they actually have airbrush paint, which is a water-based acrylic paint. And that is what you would use in an airbrush to get all the fun effects that you still want to do instead of gel polish. So I recommend doing an airbrush paint, and they have a lot of different formulas, not formulas, sorry, they have a lot of different makes and models out there. I just got this off Amazon, but I'm sure there's probably better or higher quality ones. We're going to test out this one in the airbrush gun today again, but we're also going to see what we can do, because I think with that, if you use a sponge, that could be kind of cool. So I want to see if we can do some different sponge nail art with the pigmented, because again, they're supposed to be highly pigmented, already watered down for us. So that's pretty cool. I did go ahead here and I bought some stencils that I thought would be super cool and fun to use. These are just different stencils you can use with airbrushing. So I thought we'd play. So we're still going to test it out. We're still going to play with the airbrush. There's a way to do it. So we're going to see what Saviland's airbrush is all about. And we're also going to play with their airbrush gels, but we're not going to put them in the airbrush today. Again, I highly just don't recommend doing that. You're growing. You can do whatever you want. It's your business. But I personally wouldn't take the risks. So let's go ahead and let's kind of just put our airbrush together. I've never really played with an airbrush, so I have no clue what I'm doing. Okay, but isn't it so pretty? I'm so excited for this. I did buy this little kit too to change the nozzle. I don't know. I've heard somebody say like 0.3. I don't know. I don't even know if this is a good one or if it can work. It's supposed to be universal. I have no clue. I was like, I got all excited with the airbrush and I'm like, oh, I want all the stuff for it. I was going to get the cleaner, but then I was reading a lot that you could use alcohol and water to clean out a water-based paint. So I might just try that today. And if it doesn't work that well, then I will invest in the actual airbrush cleaner. Okay. Okay, so we definitely want to read this because that way we know what we're doing. Okay. I think we're just going to play and then we'll see what we're doing. So we have the gun part. What's happening? Your charger, the little piece. Okay. I did charge it, so I'm hoping that the charge stayed on it. So I think it's this little piece that we use. Cute. And I believe this is for if you want to put a lot, like say if you're doing like maybe not figurines, that's probably small too, but like bigger stuff. I think that's what you would use to put a lot of paint in. So we don't need that guy. Your charger. So I think it's just like easy peasy lemon squeeze, right? Also, our little lid. I don't want to take it apart and all that, but I do want to see something. Okay, careful. Okay, let's not do that. I'll have to read more about it to see if I could switch out so you can get different nozzle tips. I thought that could be kind of cool too, but I might have went too far. I got excited. I haven't played with an airbrush gun. I'm like, there's so many cool things you could do. Oh, turn it on. Oh, so it's a low, high. What did that say it was supposed to do again? I feel like it's a spraying. Is that supposed to just spray like that? I thought like you're supposed to. No? Where's the instructions? Give me a minute. Let me do some reading. It's kind of crazy because I feel like you can use these for like makeup. You can use these. Can you imagine just getting a beautiful airbrush like makeup on you? I'm going to use mine for nail stuff, but that would be kind of cool. Huh. Super cool. Okay, so are we going to try this out first? I think so. Again, I bought some stencils. So you can, okay, good, you can. So these I just got off Amazon, and we're gonna try something here today. They're just different little stencils. Let me just see which one we can try to be cute with. Do you remember doing these? Like, I might age myself. Back in the day when I used to go get my nails done and I wanted just a classic French, they would air gun the French on me. Just saying. That's crazy. Wonder if I can learn how to do that. Ew, you're cute. Oh, there's some hearts. Let's do some hearts. Valentine's Day is coming around the corner. So I feel like I'm probably going to get a little book or something, or one of my little things to keep these in, so we know. Okay, so from Amazon, I purchased these acrylic water-based paints that are for an airbrush. I believe we do not have to dilute them. I think they're already diluted. So they said water-based, non-toxic. Ooh. Look at that. Look at all those colors. So I think this was like 40 bucks. I feel. More instructions. What do you need here in life? You're not even. May I please have English? Note. It's harmful if you swallow. Well, exactly. Don't put it in your mouth. 12 months. So we're going to try. Legitly, there's so many colors. I think you get like reds. You get metallic neons. I think there was like a couple metallics in here. So I thought that was a pretty decent vibe. We're going to try that. But again, I do want to go over quickly. And Saviland was so nice enough to give me a discount code if you do want to try any of their products. Hopefully that air gun works amazing. And then I would probably definitely recommend them. Now these, we're going to try to use them in different ways because I think I could really do some cool nail art with them because they're already diluted. So they did send out this full kit here, which you get an array of colors. And I was playing with this blue one. I was trying to see like how thick they are. I think they're so thin, it gives me ink vibes. It really does. So I'm like, ooh, could this be really cool for marbling? But then I think you could really do the aura too with this. So I definitely want to bring these out. We're going to play with a couple of them. And you have such an array of colors. You have your white. What are you? You're giving me like orangey, peachy vibes. Okay. So we will take a little look at these and kind of see what we can do with them as well. Super cool. I'm so excited to play with them. Again, unfortunately, I will not be showing them in the airbrush. But I'll demonstrate the airbrush using this red paint here. So let me get some paper towels because I don't want to make a huge mess. I did go ahead and grab a couple nails. I'm just going to use the white. I've never airbrushed, by the way, guys. So please, this is no way. This is not a demo. This is not here, do this, do that. Because I've never done it. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing what I've researched. I've done a little bit of research, read a little bit on it. But I have no clue how the guns work and if it's going to go crazy on me. What are we doing? These are really cool. Ew. Okay. I like it. Oh, like look at the little, oh, I kind of want to do that print. Is that what you just hold it down like that? We're going to try. I feel like I want to stand, but I also don't want to get stuff on my stand. Maybe we'll use this guy. Okay, are you scared? I'm scared, but let's try it. Okay. Shakety shake. It says shake very well. It does come with thinners, but I feel like it said it was already ready when I read it. Do we have to open it? Probably, yeah. So there is a little tab. Okay, that's very pigmented. So because this is an acrylic, this is an air dry, so you're going to have to wait a few minutes in between. We're going to see if it smudges. Again, this is just an Amazon product. I know you can get like better quality ones. This might be a good quality. We don't know yet. How much did we put in? Maybe if I open it all the way and stop. Okay. We're just going to put that much in. This seems like a lot. Again, I don't know. I feel like it's already so messy. I feel like this is going to be a very messy project until you get the hang of it. But I see everybody doing it and I want to do it. Do I need that on right now? Probably not. Oh, maybe. It might just thing out. Let's just try. I feel like you don't need it on right this second. Oh! Okay, I'm gonna tighten that back. I feel like that's what they said, this spray. That's so cool. Okay, so the tighter you go, the less comes out. Okay, so this little guy, if you loosen it, more comes. Oh, that's so cool. That's fun. Okay. Let's try to do something. So let's just try to do this little heart. How are you supposed to do it? With one hand? Maybe. Okay, that didn't exactly work out, but it kind of did. That is fun. I feel like you have to get a little bit more on the nail, right? We have a couple nails to play with, so let's play. Okay, so let's try to do this design. Maybe if we hold it as you would like hold a client's finger. I don't know how you're doing this on yourself. Press-on vibes, this would be. I was a little heavy-handed. Oh my god, that is so fun. Do you want to? Can we try the aura nails? Ew, get off me. So that's a thing. I don't know. How do you do that aura vibe? Oh gosh. I don't know, guys. That doesn't remind me of the aura. Calm down. I need practice on that guy, though, no? Do it again. Calm down. But what would be the point of having to do this like this, right? Like, why would you want a sponge and do that? We definitely need practice, or maybe my thing's open too much. That might be it. Maybe we want less is more for that guy. Let's try it on a black nail. I feel like, unless it's just me, which it probably is a just me thing. It's a little loud, by the way. It's giving me a lot of splatter. Is that supposed to give you a lot of splatter? Right? Like, just a lot of splatter. Okay, let's clean this color out. So, from what I read, you can use straight up water. You can use some alcohol. So I do have some water. Got a little disposable cup. So I like having a couple extra mouthwash cups in my studio. In case you're watercoloring in that. Kind of a vibe. And then I'm going to put a little bit of alcohol. I'm just going to use that. When I was looking it up, alcohol was perfectly safe to put in. So I'm going to put it on high. Open it up all the way so all the air can get in. Run that red out. So cool. It's gonna make me like want to get into like a whole other painting vibe. To control it in small, I have to figure that out. Control it on a nail. I think I put way too much paint in it. Yeah. Okay. Woo! Where was I going with this? Told you, this is just going to be like an experimental video. But we will use this in a design. I'm going to do a design my next set. That was my plan. If I could figure this out. But now I can play with it a little bit more. I guess I should have probably had a mask on too. Didn't take my own advice. Oops. See, this is why it's never good just to use the gel, because what if you forget your mask? One thing I'm noticing though, actually, once I diluted it a little bit, you don't get the spray. So maybe I could use the diluter not to get that spray back. It's less of that splatty spray vibe in my ear. Okay. I'm gonna take this little guy and just kind of loosen up that paint in there. I feel like it's really sticky. That's better. That's fun. Okay, let's try another one, but I want to dilute it a little bit. I gave you some diluters because I think maybe that dilution helped it not be so sprayy. And then we're going to play with the gels. Because I want to play with them a little bit. Okay, so I definitely used way too much. Let's get another color, but let's do a purple. A few drops, and then I'm going to go in with just like a drop of this. 3 drops. Get something and stir it a little. I'm going to try. We're just playing. Okay, let's try another nail. Because, you know. Maybe purple on the black. Maybe we can use this red too. Let me just try to like layer. That could be fun. You're gonna run through a lot of paper towel doing this, I feel. Okay, let's do it again. It's too watery. Whoa. So you gotta be careful of how much you put to how much. Oh, sugar plums. Put way too much purple again, but it's fine. Oh yeah, let's close it so there's not as much air going in it. Ooh, actually try like kind of getting that aura vibe now. That's really cool. Okay, let's just try like a regular. Let's try this. To open it up a little bit. That is cool. So it's really about trying to find, thank you, it's loud, I'm not going to lie there. It's really about trying to find that almost perfect ratio of how much air you let in to the machine, and that's how hard it sprays, and you don't get this splashback, I find, either. Like, I don't know. I just took that mask off, but 2 minutes. Again, this is not toxic, so I still think you should wear a mask, but I'm not worried as I would be with that gel. See a less spray than, oh, I don't have the red, but we had a lot of spray with the red, so it's all about getting the right formula of paints. It's kind of cool, like how what you could draw. You could do like some cool graffiti vibes. Oh, that is super fun. I feel the more you get the hang of it and play with it, I feel like this could be such a cool addition to your studio. It's going to take time like anything else. I don't think you're going to walk out the gate and master airbrushing. But I think we did pretty decent on this one. That's cool. I would totally would rock that. Just the way that that is. It's actually really, really cool. And the stencils make it not easy, but easier. Just, again, you have to figure out how to hold the stencil down enough to get your gun. So it would be kind of cool to do it on press-ons or somebody else doing it on yourself. Might be a little bit more challenging, but we're going to figure it out because next video I'm going to do a set with this. I don't know how yet we're doing it, but we're going to do it. Okay, let me quickly clean this out because I don't want to leave any paint left in it. And then we will come back and play with those gels. Okay, so first impression of the airbrush gun, besides it being a little loud, but they're probably loud, it's a whole little machine in there. I think it's super fun. I think you can have some super fun with it, create some super unique designs. I actually am so excited to play with it more. Like anything else, you're going to need to play with it some. But I'm super excited to actually play with it. I think there's so much fun stuff we can do with it. Eee! Very excited. Okay, so let's play with these gels. These are beautiful. There's so many different colors. I want to see what we can actually do with them. So I was thinking I wanted to try to marble with them and then try that Aurora nail. I've never really tried that. Let me change these gloves. I've never tried that, to be honest. Well, not successfully anyways. So let's give that a go. Okay, Okay, so I grabbed a couple colors. I want to try to do the blue aura nail, and then I think I want to try to marble some of these as well. So they come with these little kind of needle type guys to be able to stab them. Get it. Ooh, to get it open. Be very careful. Very messy. So we have like a brown. I think that'd be cool to marble. Yeah, they all have air in them for sure. So I'm just going to use that nail. I think my favorite of the airbrushing though is definitely this guy. That's kind of cool too though. The hearts turned out pretty okay, but okay. So what I was thinking, got a little dish. Look at this. It's gives very much ink vibes. It's very liquid. So what I was thinking is these little sponge guys. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's gonna work so good. Okay. Okay, so I like that. So remember, this is gel. We have to cure it to do more layers. Don't want to cure that gel. Oh, that's super cool. I don't know. I want to put blooming gel on a nail too and see what this does with that. That could be some sick designs. Look at that. Because it's so thin, I feel like it does a really nice job of like spreading out. Oh, I really like that. That is so sick. Okay. I think I want to open up the white and use it with some blooming gel on a black nail just to see what it does. I'm so curious now. We have that white just so we can do that. So that, oh, that was the dark blue. Let's go with the lighter blue now. Now, that's fine. I'm just going to use the same sponge and see. I can't overly tell. Now I wonder if it's because it's the same sponge. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Ah! Bad idea. It's too liquidy for that. But again, what you can do is open up. That's really cool. Oh yeah. So these work perfect to get that aura nail vibe. I just want to go around just to kind of like give everything a light blue color instead of the harsh white. I think I like that a bit better. Oh, that is so pretty. I really like that, just so you can get a closer look. And it kind of is leaving the little outlines too, so like the rings. Okay. It's a vibe. Stick that in the light and cure it. Okay, so let's take a black nail. Let's open the white so we have it opened. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this. It's very thin, so I don't know about dropping it like droplets. It might not work like that. Okay, I'm gonna get some blooming gel. I'm gonna try MJ's blooming gel. Or MG's, I should say, not J. Okay, so we're just gonna go over. You don't want to be too thick with this, but you want to be a little generous. Girl, get it together. I'm scared. I don't know. I feel like I just want to give it a really good shake first. Okay. That's the thing. It's so liquidy. Yeah, that is not going to work. Can I get a line airbrush? I think I just got to let it do what I thought I wanted it to do. Yeah. No, it's too thin to do that. But, again, so it's a little too liquid for blooming gel, to be honest. It's actually too liquid for it. And unless you're doing this on press-ons, I do not recommend doing that on somebody's hand. It'll go everywhere. You still can kind of get some cool designs with it. But it's still a little too liquidy. Press-ons, yeah, because you don't have to worry about that. Not on somebody's hand. Don't do that. Okay, let's try marbling it. But I feel like that's kind of what we just did. But let's just try it in a different way where I'm not dropping it on the nail like that. So I have a matte nail here, and I'm going to keep it matte, nothing else on it. So you want that dry. Couple drops of that color. Couple drops of that color. I can see why this actually would, like the ratio in that, why like it would be, why I don't want to say this in the most like proper way possible. I can see why it would work good in an airbrush because of the way like it's so liquefied. Again, there's acrylates in this. It's not good to breathe in. So also keep this in mind when I'm saying that. But like it's so liquid. I feel like, could we just marble it a little? That's a vibe. Oh yeah. You have a lot more control over this than some inks, so that's really cool. Right? Oh yeah. There's so many different things you could do with these paints though. Or these airbrush. Well, yeah, they're airbrush paints, right? But airbrush gels. Just don't use it in an airbrush. But if you're growing, you can do whatever you feel, but I don't recommend that, guys. So it does kind of dry a little bit, I'm feeling, as it's on that your palette, like it's starting to thing a little. Which it shouldn't because it's a gel. Ow. Yeah. Sticky layer, same way. That is cool though. So it does get thicker and almost it starts to dry. So you want to work kind of fast with them. You don't want to just put it on your palette like a gel because that is really cool though, that one. Probably without the lines. That's the thing. And I'm wiping it now, so it's not coming off. Because I cured it. That's the weird thing about it is I really like the aura with that. I could do that a lot easier than I could with the airbrush gun. So I'm definitely be using these for aura nails. So if I can't get the hang of it for that other set, then I'm gonna do that because I want to do some aura, like something is giving me aura, but maybe with some real like real gemstones, but like so rocky type of ones, like natural elements to it. That's what I'm like wanting to do. So I'm just gonna add a little acetone in there, loosen it back up. So I feel like with marble, sorry, I'm concentrating, guys. I'm not the best at marble either. But all these things I want to get better at. You want to move your brush a lot, in my opinion, because there isn't no real basic lines. It's almost like a spread out line. So you don't want perfect lines. Oh yeah, like that. Oh. Right? I don't know. It's not the best, but it's fun. It's fun to play with. But, okay, so I'm going to try something because out of curiosity. But they have acrylates in it, so acrylates need to be cured for them to be polymers. So otherwise, it'll just be uncured gel, so it would wipe off anyways. So my thought is just because it's actually drying on my palettes, but that could be because it's like really, really thin. So I'm just like, why are you drying? Air drying. I'm going to give it a minute and see if I wipe it, if things happen. But I'm pretty positive I know what's going to happen behind it, because if you just think of the science of it, then acrylates need to be cured to polymerize to harden. Otherwise, they're just acrylates, they're chilling, which is just like different chemicals and stuff. So I'm like ruin my design. Ah, yeah, see, look. It will. You need to cure it. Thank you. Get on there. All right, give me a second to let me kind of clean up, and then let's go over my final thoughts of the Saviland Airbrush and the Saviland Gel. I'm just going to call them, well, they're airbrush gel paints, or gel polishes, I should say. 1 minute. All right, guys, so let's take a look at kind of what we created. There's a couple more though, but you know, we were playing. I actually really like, I'm a little surprised, but I'm not surprised after I seen what it was and I was like, ooh, there's some things you could do with that. It made my brain like have to think of like, ooh, what else could I do, right? So I actually really like these. I think they're really fun to create different nail art with it. I just personally would not use them in an airbrush gun because spraying acrylates is not safe for you at all. That's the bottom line of it. So I think that they're actually really cool though and really fun to try different things. I love the way that that aura nail came out. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect, but I love the way that it has like the lining in it. It's almost like that little banding of the circle. I don't know, it's giving me like ring vibes. Really cool marbling. I think there's a lot of marble effects that you could do with it as well because it is such a liquefied. Work in small batches because as you've seen, it will dry on your palette quite quickly. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, when it comes to the air gun, I think it's super cool. It's so fun to play with. Obviously, you need to practice like anything else in life. It's going to take you some time. I like the stencil thing. I think they're so cool. If you're going to get it, grab some stencils for yourself. It'll make your life a little easier and you'll have something to practice with. I think it's cool. It's really fun. It's pretty. It looks like sleek. It is loud, but I don't know if that's just how air guns are supposed to be. I would assume there's a motor in there pushing out the air, so it's not going to be quiet, if that makes sense. Thank you again, guys, for watching. I truly appreciate you. I do hope if you do consider getting yourself an airbrush gun or using airbrush or anything like that, really think twice before you put gel in an airbrush of any kind, and do not dilute it down with acetone. That just makes things even worse. It's not good for you at all, not good for your health. But I do want to say a big thank you to Saviland for sending me these products. I appreciate you. And I hope I did you right by showing them. I just can't promote something that I don't feel that is safe, meaning the paints in the gun. That's where I go, like, I won't do that, and I won't tell you guys to do that. But I also think that you can do some really cool things with the paint. So I wouldn't say, no, don't get the paints, or if you have the paints, it's not a waste at all. This was just off the top of my head, the couple little things that I think you could do. Like, I want to sit back and be like, ooh, what else can I do? I wonder if you could mix it with some clay. If that would like dye your clay a little bit, if you wanted to customize the little clear clay that you get, that could be a way because it's a lot thinner. Of course, it would keep it sticky, but it also seems like it dries a little bit too. So that could be something fun or a vibe. Like, I feel like there's a lot you could do with it. You just got to get creative and play with it. I just don't recommend putting it in an air gun. But thank you guys again so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friend. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.